Could be a Mexican plane up there. They're getting ready to attack.
I want everyone to keep something in mind. While this dude tries delivering joke after joke,
it's important to remember that all the things that these people say, these are very powerful people already, and one of them is going to become even more powerful. Everything that they say, everything they do has ripple effects. So all these things have real consequences. It's not a game, and we are not chess pieces.
Comedian Josh Johnson hits the nail on the head. We are not the most powerful people's chess pieces, as much as they desire us to be.
As someone raised by black women, don't. Black women know how to hurt feelings. Only a black woman would be like, no, go to his little rally and see. That's how confident she was in what she was saying, that she told us to go. She was like, look, I'm gonna do something I wouldn't normally do. Go ahead and go. You'll leave early, don't worry.
Fair. It was a hilarious moment, but also one rooted in fact.
A tender-hearted woman's song for half-frozen snake. His pretty-colored skin had been all frosted with the dew. Poor thing, she sighed. Corrupt guy. He's a corrupt district attorney who's allowed crime in the city to go totally unchecked. They had like 20 district attorneys.
Because we have seen this throughout his rallies. The crowds do leave early. This, however, clearly left a sting in his mind and affected how he felt from there till the end of the debate.
I've noticed that Trump specifically has a thing that has always kind of existed in politics, but has never existed to this degree, right? Where Trump has a filter created by his base, by the people who like him, love him, and everything, that he can say whatever he wants, but they will distill it for him for the rest of us. He'll say whatever, and then they will be like, what he meant was... But what he meant shouldn't have been what he said. Because he said this, and you're saying he meant something else, but he also had access to the words you just said.
This is also spot on, but it's not just that they bend his words to give a stamp of approval.
They went after Richard Nixon, they went after Bill Clinton, and now the courts in several different states are finding different things about Trump. Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president?
Not for me. I'm with him to the finish.
All right, thank you so much.
He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
Explain that to me. That's amazing. I mean,
look, he's the only man we've ever had in my lifetime that stood for America as president. Now, I was a George Herbert Walker Bush man and all that, but they don't anybody compare to Donald Trump. He loves this country, and that's why I love him.
It's that they say stuff like this to justify their support. This man literally said Donald Trump could kill another human being on the front steps of the White House, and this guy would still cast a ballot for him. Yet ask this man about being pro-life. Ask him. It would be a litany of contradictions. This is exactly the issue with MAGA. There is no reasoning to their politics. It's just this.
If I have to,
but it wasn't just a meme,
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do.
An insane thing for a sitting U.S. senator and the nominee for VP of the Republican Party to say, which of course puts a target on the back of countless people in not just any state, but the state he represents.
And the thing that is like so brain broken about that logic is that it creates like a tidal wave of insanity until you can finally make something that you want to be true, right? Because it could ruin anybody's life. For instance, when you look at J.D. Vance, there is No evidence there's no evidence that he didn't bang a couch. Do you see? Like, do you see how that's an unending thing? How it could ruin your life and never go away? How you can't even sit anymore? Because people see you next to a love seat and wonder. Do you see how insane that is? A lie that we know was a lie?
That's just well done by Johnson. It's a very taste of their own script flipping turn that many in Vance's orbit do not appreciate, but the audience certainly did.
Bruce Springsteen. We have a much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, much bigger crowd than Bruce Springsteen.
I'm sure he's a nice guy. How about Chris Christie? You said, I love Bruce Springsteen. And then they throw him out of the
crowd.
concert. When somebody
Much
throws
bigger
out of a
crowd.
concert, you shouldn't love them.
Yeah,
You sort of say, I don't
but
like
there's
that.
like a huddle towards the stage,
And then they throw him out of the concert.
towards the mic.
Let's get back to this, though. The obsession with his crowds and how one line from Madam Vice President Kamala Harris struck a nerve so hard, the former president tailspinned publicly on live television.
Trump is like very good at making other people look dumb. He's very good at debating. You see what I mean? But this was the first time that he was like, what is she talking about? My crowd. And so, you know, he had a bit of a spiral. And before you know it, he was like, look, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the dogs, they're eating cats, they're eating, and you could tell in that moment that Trump wanted to say another animal, but he couldn't think of one. Because he says pets, but pets is off rhythm. If you go back and watch, it's like they're eating the dogs, they're eating cats, they're eating... And you can see for a split second the wheels turn of, he's like trying to think of, they're eating the bird. No, we all eat birds. They're eating the pets.
It is rather interesting how Trump pivoted here after the crowd's leaving early line, because it is true, this was not only talked about.
2 elementary schools in Springfield, Ohio, evacuated today. 2 college campuses there, Clark State College and Wittenberg University, shut down. Classes being held virtually because of bomb and shooting threats, some of the threats targeting the Haitian communities at the schools and in town.
A bomb threat, particularly one that disrupts something like a school, is a very serious crime. It's felony. So whoever's responsible, knock it off. You could go to prison on this.
Government buildings in Springfield have also received threats in recent days. The threats come in the wake of a disturbing sequence of falsehoods about the Haitian community in Springfield.
It led to violence from the MAGA movement.
Make sure that all those things we need to do, child care, elder care, making sure that we continue to strengthen our healthcare system, making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID. With dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Let's also not forget this. It was a letdown, but a letdown we predicted. Let's let Josh Johnson explain further.
The thing I've noticed in both these debates is that they're not even about who did well. They're just about who did the least poorly. That's what we get stuck on. Like, it wasn't even, last debate wasn't even about Trump performing well, it was about Biden crashing out. And then this debate wasn't as much about Kamala winning as much as Trump. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cat. They're eating flamingos. They're eating the pets. No. And it was the first time in all the times that he's debated that Trump looked 78.
And this is the power of the Dems switching candidates. Previously, Joe Biden looked like the elder statesman. He looked like a man who should absolutely serve one term when going up against Donald Trump. Now the tables have turned, and Trump is the one who looks very, very, very old.
When they're all framed up, you had some of the biggest titans in business. Yep. And I would just say the biggest titans in tech, who were the sort of antagonists for many years, who were sitting there front row for the presidential inauguration.
This is certainly the story of the inauguration. The oligarchs running policy in this country to benefit themselves and their companies, but in turn, there is a story inside the story, and it is this.
I mean, obviously, the Nazi salute took everybody's attention away from everything else that happened at the inauguration. It's kind of hard not to focus on that. But I think, honestly, the most interesting event of the inauguration was Mark Zuckerberg looking at Lauren Sanchez's chest. Like, that picture is never going away. Do you understand?
From comedian Sammy Obeid. It seems, though, the talk of the inauguration outside of billionaires running the country was Lauren Sanchez's outfit choice. She wore all white, seated next to her significant other, Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, who got his start with his parents investing in his company. More from Obeid.
So she was, she was there, right? And she was wearing a low-cut blouse, which is a choice. And Mark Zuckerberg was standing right over, and I don't know, bless the photographer who nailed that shot. Because you think Zuckerberg is a billionaire, he has to be like, okay, when I go in public, people are going to be watching me, you know? But for some reason, his metaverse glitched, and he, like, in a moment, he was looking at her low-cut blouse, and the photographer got it, like, perfect frame rate, nailed it.
Agreed. God bless the photographer or videographer who captured the moment, because boy did they deliver. And now Zuck, a man who screams out masculinity is needed on Joe Rogan, got himself in quite a pickle. Furthermore, Zuck made his peek at Sanchez's chest with his wife right next to him. Keep in mind, as we've stated, this is during the presidential inauguration. After this went down, we would learn that Zuck was liking Sanchez's stuff on his platform Instagram, which Obeid had a reaction to.
And that picture is not, it's simple. It's just, boys will be boys, whatever. That's like the baseline, like, oh, Zuckerberg's got it in him, whatever. Or, toxic masculinity, or however you want to see it. But that picture is more meaningful than that. That picture is the beginning of a divorce, okay? That picture.
He's like, honey, let's go to the metaverse and sort this out.
Doesn't matter how rich you are. Like, that's, anyways. He what? Oh, he liked her pictures on Instagram too? Did you check that? Did you that's the first thing everybody did. They went on Instagram, looked at Lauren Sanchez's profile. They're like, has Zuckerberg liked her photos? He's liked previous photos of hers, or... Oh, we're so creepy right now. We're just like, dude. We're like, oh my God, Zuckerberg has a thing for Lauren Sanchez.
Just so we're clear, here is the photo of Sanchez that Zuckerberg liked on the platform he owns. And here are some of the users who liked it. Most disappointing, Carissa Thompson, by far, as a sports guy. It should surprise no one Sydney Sweeney liked it, considering we know her family history at this point. Jessica Alba, also not surprised in the slightest.
Hey guys, quick break in the action. I have a new show coming out called The Rick Strom Show. It is going to be awesome. I'm interviewing musicians, athletes, producers, writers, journalists, authors, sports doctors. Go check it out at youtube.com/@TheRickStrom Show. Also be sure to throw me a follow on Instagram, Threads,
blue sky. It can all be found in the description box below. Thank you. Obaid then turned his attention to this.
And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you.
The Nazi salute seen and heard around the world from Tesla owner Elon Musk.
Listen, I don't actually think that Elon is a Nazi, okay? But everybody just saying like, oh, he's on the spectrum or whatever. But yeah, he's also on the Nazi spectrum. You know what I mean? Like, there is such thing as a Nazi spectrum, you know? You start at 0 and then you're just full Hitler, and he's somewhere in between. We don't know. You cannot mathematically argue that he's not somewhere. We know he's not 0. If he was 0, he would have not made that motion. Okay?
Obaid would also debunk the Roman salute argument we have heard from so many Elon defenders. Plus,
the ADL wrote, "This is a delicate moment." That's the Anti-Defamation League. It's a group that monitors anti-Semitic hate. "This is a new day, and yet so many are on edge. Our politics are inflamed, and social media only adds to the anxiety. It seems that Elon Musk made an awkward gesture in a moment of enthusiasm, not a Nazi salute. But again, we appreciate that people are on edge. In this moment, all sides should give one another a bit of grace, perhaps even the benefit of the doubt, and take a breath. This is a new beginning. Let's hope for healing and work toward unity in the months and years ahead."
What little credibility this organization had left was gone when they issued this diabolical statement in reaction to Musk.
And it was surprisingly how many people were defending him, you know? Like the ADL. I don't know if you know Anti-Defamation League. They should just change their name to Defamation League, because that's basically all they do. They should call themselves the DL. But the ADL is totally, they usually go after anti-Semitism all the time, but they're like, don't get out of hand here. He was just excited, you know, like they totally gave him the pass because he's not a peaceful college protester. So, yeah. And, you know, but yeah, also some really good people defended him, like Netanyahu. That's someone who you really want to have on your side. Netanyahu's like, no, I know Elon.
For more from Sammy Obaid, go to SammyKO.com for tour updates, his YouTube channel for long form stuff, his Facebook for more Lauren Sanchez love at Facebook.com/SammyKObaid, Instagram for thirst traps, and of course, TikTok.
They're not after me, they're after you. I'm just in the way.
That's right.
What would they throw you in jail for?
Because maybe I'm talking against them. Maybe that's all they need.
Why would they come after you?
Well, because they're coming after everybody in this country.
I know Trump's not a pig. I know he's not a messy person. He had all them documents that were stored in a secure area and had 2 Secret Service agents standing at that door. The door was locked.
The secure area? You mean? Are you talking about the
room?
The bathroom that it was in?
No, that's bull.
Oh no, that's from the indictment.
Yeah, that's what they put in there. None of that stuff would have been in the bathroom. That looks like Biden's house.
Ultra extreme MAGA.
What is ultra extreme MAGA?
It means never leaving the house without a red MAGA hat. 8 years going. I change the hat every 2 months. I never leave the house without a MAGA hat.
Why?
Because he's an American hero and he's perfectly innocent. Guy's done nothing wrong.
What does ultra extreme MAGA mean?
MAGA 24/7. We're not GOP. We're not Republicans. We're definitely not Democrats. Nowadays, you're either an American or a Democrat, but there's no way to be both.
So, is that an important part of your identity?
This is America's identity. This is America's new identity, Ultra MAGA.
No, I mean for you personally, is it an important part of your identity?
For the last 8 years, since the boss came down the escalator, I knew he was the one. He's the only one that could save America.
Florida Trump supporters are a whole different breed of insanity, so it shouldn't come as too much of a surprise that their own representative to MAGA world crashed and burned much quicker than expected.
But I can't ask our supporters to volunteer their time and donate their resources if we don't have a clear path to victory. Accordingly, I am today suspending my campaign. I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance. We can choose to allow a border invasion, or we can choose to stop it. We can choose reckless borrowing and spending, or we can choose to limit government and lower inflation. We can choose political indoctrination, or we can choose classical education. These choices are symptoms of the underlying struggle to ensure that constitutional government can endure and that Western civilization can survive.
DeSantis continued to dog whistle to the Republican base on his way out of the primary race in his dropout announcement on Twitter, the same platform where he launched his dumpster fire of a presidential campaign.
Obviously very excited to have Governor DeSantis make this.
Are you there? Can you hear us? I think you broke.
I'm here.
Excellent. I know. I think you broke the internet there. We had over 500,000 people in one Twitter space, and it was growing by like 50,000 a minute. So, congrats on breaking the internet there.
I've had disagreements with Donald Trump, such as on the coronavirus pandemic and his elevation of Anthony Fauci. Trump is superior to the current incumbent, Joe Biden. That is clear. I signed a pledge to support the Republican nominee, and I will honor that pledge. He has my endorsement because we can't go back to the old Republican guard of yesteryear.
But don't worry, Davram of the Good Liars is making sure Ron doesn't go running back to Florida empty-handed.
What? Nothing's going to stop us.
Real quick, before we get started, thank you, everyone. Governor DeSantis, I want to present to you this participation trophy. Now, probably not going to win the election, right? But we're proud of you for trying. There you go. No, I mean, sorry, buddy. He's special, he's unique, and he's our little snowflake. Thank you. Here you go. Do you want the award?
Shockingly, Republican campaign managers and other staffers still haven't caught on to Selvig and Davram's antics by now, especially since they've been trolling Republicans in similar ways for years.
It's boring. We're bored. Tell some jokes. This is
something. Entertain us.
This is boring.
Come on.
So,
we're very bored.
This is. Are you serious? This is boring.
This is boring. We came here to be entertained. We're bored.
nothing funny about this.
It's not a joke. This is.
We want to be entertained.
No, this is boring.
This is so boring.
Get out of here.
Boring. Boring. We love Donald, but it's a little boring. It's getting a little old. I want like some new giant. Wow. If you wear the condoms, what we gotta do is you won't get the girls. You won't get the girls pregnant, and you won't have to pay for the abortions.
As always, please go support these dudes. Follow them, like their stuff, share their content, and go to their live shows if you can. They do phenomenal work and deserve a bigger audience. Despite DeSantis finally giving up and kissing Trump's ring yet again, he unfortunately still remains relevant in the Republican Party and is a voice the base will flock to, especially in the cesspool that has become Twitter under Musk.
They put wire, they put things to keep people out. Biden's saying you got to take that down to let people come in illegally, which is just crazy. And I remarked that if the Constitution was originally understood to mean that a state could not protect itself against an invasion, that the federal government could force a state to allow an invasion, the Constitution would have never been ratified in the first place. Texas would have never joined the Union when it did. So you have Texas here that's holding its ground. They have every right to fortify the border vis-a-vis an invasion, and that's Article 1, Section 10 of the Constitution. So they're in the right.
This is exactly what systemic racism looks like in real time. All of this rhetoric about an invasion of immigrants in southern states, needing to fortify the border to defend themselves from immigrants and migrants, is just a roundabout way of saying that you don't want more brown people in your country.
You have Texas, who's acting to enforce the laws on the books, to ensure that they have a secure state and that we have a secure country. So all of this is just nonsense what Biden's doing. Texas has every right to stand its ground. We've in Florida, we've been sending people to help for many years now because we understand it's not just a Texas issue, it's ultimately an American issue. And if we don't have sovereignty in this country, then we're not going to be a country anymore.
Ron didn't even try to hide it when you boil down all of his rhetoric. It's always reduced to one person not seeing the other as a full-fledged human, deserving of the same rights and dignity that they have.